Yo, what's up guys, say Chronicle here, another guide on Chronicles. This video, I'm going to focus on what to do when you're kind of stuck on your progression. You're trying to clear your storyline, as mentioned before, focus for that storyline, that is very important. But at some point you get to a certain stage, it could be, for example, Act 4, like all the way at the end, where you have to fight the strong boss. I'm not sure where it exactly is, I think it's this one. Yeah, you have to fight this, I don't even know how you say it, that boss or some other stage that you don't have enough power for. What are the things that can help you to get to your power? When you're in the lower stages, I really recommend you to look for your arena dungeon. And your arena dungeon, especially the easy level. So every dungeon you cleared, you can do the arena dungeon for. And that goes all the way. And as you can see, for me, I cleared everything on easy. I think I didn't do it for the last few stages of the final area. But you get your 3-star rainbow mons from it, you get XP potions from it, and you get some crystals from it. Those three things are very useful to progress faster, because the moment you're stuck on your progression, you also don't want to focus on your 5 stars. That's the moment you want to focus on your 3 stars. Make your 3 stars to level 70, get them like a little bit of awakening up, and that kind of stuff, and therefore it's a lot easier to progress. Another thing which is very useful besides doing these, leveling out your units, is to check out a few units from the monster story. There's 4 units from the monster story that are very useful to get. Oh wait, one is not from the monster story actually. 3 units from the monster story that is very easy to get. Plus, you actually have certain quests to get XP for them, because you have to use them. They ask you as like, okay, now I want you to fight with a vagabond level 15. You have to make that vagabond level 15, but they give you the materials to make that vagabond level 15. Then they say, okay, now we want you to make it level 40, but they give you all the materials to make it level 40. That even goes better. For the lizard man, I think he goes up to level 50. We have the mystic witch that goes to 5 awakening level 60. And the mystic witch is also very useful. I didn't use it personally because I forgot about it. It's very good for that stage that I just mentioned, but I'll show that in a second. But the most interesting one of those, and that is very good for the last area, is the water Amazon. Because the water Amazon, they actually ask you to build it all the way to level 70, 5 awakening. And that gives you a lot of power in the final area. Because it's fire, this unit is water, of course. Where do you find those quests? Those quests are actually the secondary quest line. That is the one that I said, like, okay, don't focus too much on it early game, but just focus on the main story quest line. But the moment you're stuck, of course, you gotta find some of your power anywhere else. And this is definitely one of those good power increases. So it's literally if you go to any region, it is the first quest line that there is, and that is the one that is the most useful. So in this case, if we go to this area, the first quest line is talking about the water vagabonds, that you have to use that. In the water area, it is, oh no, wait, in the wind area, it is the fire lizard man that they ask to upgrade. And as you can see, for rewards, you get all kinds of XP potions, you get the Breath of Life, you get the Awakening material even. And with that, it's very useful to up your units. So in this case, if we look at the Magic Witch, or the Mystic Witch, you get like the Awakening materials, you get the Breath of Life, you get a lot of XP potions. Don't make the mistake of wasting those or using those XP potions on something else, because then you have to level this unit by yourself. So actually use it all the way until you finish the questline, and you get really good rewards, and you even get some good runes. But the Mystic Witch ends at level 60, and that unit being level 60 really helps you out for this stage. Where is it? This stage. The main reason is the Mystic Witch as a particular skill set that, let me find her real quick, monster book, Mystic Witch. We have her not pulled yet, we have her pulled. So she will be awakened, but she has this third skill, which grants Unrecoverable. And Unrecoverable helps a lot for that boss, because that boss just starts like healing all the time and being super annoying. Plus it has a death down on S2. So, and it replaces the death up with a death down. So that unit has both death up, it has recovery, so this unit is like the perfect counter against that unit. So definitely, if you're stuck in that stage, this is the one you want to get. Get it through the storyline first, the what's it called? The monster collection book thingy, monster story. You get it through the monster story. Once you did the monster story, you unlock the quest line that you can do over here at the quest and then area exploration, and then the first one in there. And of course, as I mentioned before, the Water Amazon, very good unit, but they even tell you all to make it all the way to level 70. So the rewards are just insane. Like, look at how many things you get, and you even get like a small rage set for that. This is very useful in your last area because, well, correct element, you're fighting the right thing, and it just helps out a lot. Another thing that I want to mention in this video is, like, I get a lot of the questions like, okay, what 3 stars and 4 stars are good? What should I focus on? Also keep in mind the units, there's probably a few 3 stars and 4 stars that I didn't mention that are definitely usable. Like, it's not that if I don't mention a unit, it's straight up not usable. It's just what I'm familiar with. I also don't know everything. I just played like through guides of other people more or less, and didn't really look too much towards like all kinds of units. But if most people mention it, then, and most people you see walking around with that, then that is probably a good unit. Would that mean that you cannot go like experimenting left, right, center, like, oh, maybe this unit looks cool or that unit looks cool? Definitely try that out. Like, it's just fun. Like, you don't have to play by a certain rule set of like, these are good, you have to do this, you have to do that. You're free to do whatever you like. If you say like, okay, I think this mummy just looks cool, I want to see if it works, like, by all means you can start trying that, and if all else, if it's really bad, you can still restore a unit, so it's not that bad if you waste resources in it. That's something that's so nice in this game, because in Sky Arena, if you start devil molding something or anything like that, it's like, yeah, man, you're never gonna get that one back. In this game, okay, it costs you a restore stone, but at least the possibility is there. Well, for 3 stars, there are a few options that are good, but not too many are good. I heard that this unit is pretty good at some point in, so you want to keep. So which units are good, which units should you keep, which units should you focus on? Well, for 3 stars, it's of course the Fire Fairy is very good. We have this Pixie is pretty good at some point in a specific dungeon, so you want to keep those as well. I heard that this one can be pretty decent for a specific dungeon, but I haven't really seen it all too much myself. But for 3 stars of fire, that is pretty much it. No, actually, this one is pretty good too. If you want to start farming your rage runes, you go to Tears of Clans, and this unit actually hard counters the Tears of Clans. So you might want to build this at some point as well. Then if we go to the fire 4 stars, the fire 4 stars that are interesting is, of course, Chloe. Chloe is pretty much a must. I also often get the question like, okay, which should I do for the selection ticket? And the selection ticket, I would recommend, if you don't have Chloe yet, go for a Chloe, because she's really a cheat in like TOA and that kind of stuff. Raccoon is pretty decent, so that is something that you could focus on if you get it. And the other fire units, there's not too many, I would say, like, okay, these really shine out in being good. Like, all of the units have a certain niche that they can be usable, but they're not crazy good. An option, for example, if you need a knight, then the Fire Harpo, Colleen, is pretty decent. And if you need a Fire Warrior, which you will probably at some stage for expeditions, the Fire Lizard, which we also talked about earlier, that you have to build anyways, you might as well keep him built because you can use that for that as well. Looking into water 3 stars, of course, the Koinonia. I have heard some people using the Charger Shark, that is a pretty decent 3 star. I'm not too familiar with him in all honesty, but seems pretty decent. I know that the Tark can be used as a 3 star, also not too great, but it's pretty okay. This one as a damage dealer 3 star seems to be okay. And then Tractor is something that you can use later for the 3rd raid. So the moment we have like the Zyros looking dragon raid, Tractor becomes pretty interesting for that one. Then if we continue on to the 4 stars, which 4 stars are interesting, of course, Ellen, as mentioned before, you pretty much get her for free all the way level 70 and Awakened, so this is very useful. So that's definitely a unit you want to focus on. And besides that, for water element, we have, of course, Lulu. Lulu is pretty much a must build for dungeons later. So the moment you So there will be a moment where you replace your Konami as healer with a Lulu as healer, unless you have a net 5 healer. But Lulu is a very strong healer. Besides that, I have seen some people use the Water Lich. His kit seems pretty loaded, so I think he has also pretty potential for a bunch of things, but I'm not sure if he's actually that good. Moving on to Wind. Continuing on. Wind units. Shannon, of course, most important. Everyone will get her. I've seen some people use the Wind Yeti as a healer plus heal blocker. This is also it does heal block, right? Yeah, it does heal block, which is also a decent unit against the final boss for the 4th act. Going on for Wind. As mentioned before, we have Celia, the Mystic Witch. Bernard you will use at some units, and Bernard is definitely something you will start using at some point. It is more niche of the usage, but definitely you will have a Bernard running at some point. Naomi, the martial cat, as mentioned before, very strong damage dealer. And this can be, yeah, your main damage dealer for pretty much most things for quite a while. Besides that, I don't see too many units that I'm familiar with or I've seen being used quite some. So that is about it for the 4 stars. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video as well. Just wanted to tell you, like, okay, if you're stuck on progression, these are the things you probably want to focus on. Another thing that you can also focus on, but I'll make a separate video about later, is getting some of these in. And these immemorial power and summon power actually increase your power level as well. So getting in a few of these kind of help you as well. But I'll make a separate video on that, of like, okay, how does that work? Where do you get these? What should you focus on? So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet, once again, really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, you like this video, and see you in the next one.